Well, welcome back to the shop build. If you want to know things like this about installing vinyl windows, taping the seams for the zip wall system and other systems as well, you came to the right place. So join me and we'll learn all about it. Well, we're back up on the roof. We today and a few other days, we're gonna finish up the roof sheeting. We got this corner over here that's covered up in a tarp right now. We're gonna take that off, finish doing the sheeting. We got about a 12-inch run that we got to put up there on around the top. We're gonna end up leaving from the peak 2 inches down on each side. That's gonna be for our ventilation. And then we're also gonna be doing in this video all the tape sealing for the zip wall system, as well as where all the nails are. It's not required, but something that I just feel like I need because some of my nails are depressed into the sheathing a little bit, so it kind of compromises the vapor barrier. And so I'm going to put some of their product. It's a liquid flash that's going to tape over it. So we're going to see that whole kind of process and how I'm going to be going about doing it. Trying to get this roof nice and sealed up for weather. It's rained a few times this past week. Most of this last week it's been raining, so we'll talk about since it's been rained on before the tape, to see what I think about that and that whole process. So let's get back to finishing doing the sheeting, the tape sealing, and try to get this sucker weathered in. Up here on the roof sheeting, this zip wall system is brown. And the reason it's brown, because they also have the green. The brown is 1/2 inch and the green is 7/16. Some people say that you don't need the H-clips. I am putting the H-clips on just because of the deflection. When you stand between the rafters, it deflects quite a lot, and actually more surprising than when you use 7/16 OSB. So in some cases you almost want to double up the amount of H-clips in between each bay, but I didn't. There will be other areas, other parts of this project that I'll end up using doubled up just because the strips are so small. But anyhow, here's the process. All tied off. Got to move my rope grab a little bit so that the sheeting goes underneath it, and then refasten it. So yeah, be real careful when you're out on things like this, because that rope grab can get caught, and as well as when you're cutting, that sawdust is super slippery, so be careful. You could slide right off the roof, especially if you're not tied off. Sheeting's all staggered, just like I got it. So I'm still using my leftover pieces to utilize material, but something to be real careful of. This sawdust, when you cut it, it's like grease. So be real careful, be tied off. And I'm gonna cut this and come back with a blower. Those also most likely can get maybe not that one. Those other ones, they'll get nailed back on the other side and get reused. So here I'm taking my saw and all of the butt joints that are tight. I'm using it to make an 1/8 inch gap between the butt joints, so that allows for the expansion and the contraction that the sheets need. And then afterwards, getting my blower and blowing it off. Here's kind of more of a close-up view of the process, but the sheets are staggered, so which is important structurally. That's a requirement by the engineer as well. So that there's a butt joint every kind of staggered sheet here. So not every sheet needed the saw kerf going down, not saw kerf, the cut going down the butt joint, but for the most part, most of them did. Here I'm applying the zip wall tape that's required by the zip wall system on every end joint and lap joint on the sides and each end of the sheet, however you want to say it. But I've been trying to start at the bottom, shingling the tape as well, even though it doesn't really call for anything of that sort. But it just made sense to me. Something you want to be real careful of using this is that you don't cause a wrinkle in it. As you can kind of see, one of my problems later on, when it does rain, there's been several little wrinkles that I had in it, and water got behind it and had to use the liquid flash to really seal it up. That's kind of, to me, one of the problems with this system, instead of like a barrier that you roll over top of the whole thing in a shingled manner. So yeah, make sure, and then also make sure you're rolling it with like a J roller, and it's got to be pressed into the material. You know, it's like a reverse seam with this, but. All right, so we got the roof all done, up on top, got it all taped and sealed. Now we're on the zip wall here. We got Chris over there. He's trimming this foam, this perimeter insulation. If you looked at a previous video, you would see me installing that. But what we got to do is we got to cut this 1 inch that we got left here, and then we're going to tape that down below. So get that all taped here, and then the vertical tape, and then we're going to start wrapping our windows. So all of these seams here are going to get it, but I want to get the windows in first, so we can kind of get it more weathered in and sealed up for weather, because you know it's the fall here in Oregon and it rains a lot. So we're just trying to keep things sealed up. We're roof sealed, so at least that's going to be the majority of it. And yeah, so we got some of that to do. We'll show this process and then show the process of wrapping a window. You can see right here, I already pre-wrapped this one. This one's ready for a window. Something that's important when it comes to windows is that you quality control your rough openings. So this that second one, when I was measuring to see if the window would actually fit, it wouldn't fit. It was about a 3/8 of an inch. The sill was about 3/8 of an inch too high. So I ended up having to cut it and lower that seal down to match this one. The other ones are good. It's just, I don't know what happened with that one. It just happened. So best you can. Also, because we do get pre-wrap, add some thickness there. something to start thinking about when you're doing your rough opening for your framing is making everything a 1/4 inch bigger. So this opening is a 4040. That's 4 foot wide, 0 inches, 4 foot 0 inches tall. The rough opening, they say that all it needs is 4 foot because the vinyl windows, it's actually about a 1/4 inch smaller than that, which doesn't leave you a whole lot of room for shimming, squaring, so leveling and plumbing when you're putting it in there. And it's best that a window is not tight against the bottom, that you got some sort of shim on the bottom as well. So I want it to be about an 1/8 inch up. With this added thickness material, you kind of need that little bit extra, so that's why it gave us a 1/4 inch extra. Something else best would be if this sill was sloped, kind of helps with drainage. But the other thing is what this pre-flashing does is it seals up the window going around the corner, so anything behind the sheathing isn't leaking air. But also it gives you a hard surface to caulk the inside of the window too. So, and that helps with air intrusion. And if air gets in, moisture comes in too, and we don't want that. So, in my opinion, it's a must to pre-wrap. You're gonna find that lesser quality of installations don't have a full pre-wrap like it is here. It is required by the manufacturer to at least do the sill, which here I'm using stretch tape, so it's a one continuous piece all the way around. And then a side piece, and then a head piece. And that head piece is also a stretch tape, so it actually stretches around. And I did that last night, and you roll it on, you press it in with the roller, a J roller like this. It's sticking really well, so I'm pretty happy with that product. So far. So let's get the bottom taped up so we can get onto the window and moving on. So here you can see there's no tape measure needed. You first start with the sill. It needs to lap up on the jambs on each side about 6 inches. So starting on the inside, and that stretch tape works real good stretching around that corner, that inside corner. Then next, same thing with the side jambs. You're gonna be just doing the length that the jam is long, and then you start with the head jam, laps over 6 inches on each side, stretching over to the face. Works real good, sticks real well, and making sure to back roll. Here I'm caulking the jams in the head. And of course, before I did that, I cleaned the window real good, and as well as cleaned the substrate of the wall real good, and even pre-fit the window just to make sure everything worked good. Then I was good to go. So first starting with the screws on the bottom, each side, making sure you're level, and then racking it if need be. Some cases like here, I needed to rack it about an 1/8 inch, and then put the screws on the flanges on top. Those flanges have a little slotted screw hole, so make sure you're going in the center of that. Every other hole is what I put this truss head screw. It's kind of a bigger head, Phillips head screw, and wood screw to fasten it with. Here's another window. Here's a look at the shims that I was using, making sure they're nice and level. And as you can see, there's a gap on the bottom, which is about the same as the gap on the top. That gap allows for low expanding spray foam to fill in that gap for really sealing it. So if you're wondering why we're doing this pre-wrap, is what this is called here, before the window, it's a full pre-wrap. That's what the industry is going towards, and that's, in my opinion, is what's best. So make sure you're doing that. What it allows is for a good caulk on the inside, on all 4 sides on the inside, for air sealing. So, and it also prevents water from going on the inside. It creates a hard connection between the window and your inside. So up here on top, we're using a scaffold to safely use it. Here we dry fitted to see if everything works out good, which it did. So the window got cleaned real good. Best when you're cleaning is denatured alcohol or mineral spirits.
make sure all the stickers are off and everything, because you don't want to deal with that after the fact, because it's quite a challenge.
All right, so we went ahead because it was sprinkling. We went ahead and started taping and post-wrapping the windows. So we went ahead and, if you can see here, we took some of the flashing tape. We did the sides and then the head, so it laps correctly on all the windows. We got all the windows installed, which is great. So even the ones that we did out here, we did wrap the windows. We tried our best to shingle even the tape best we can. So like we'd do the bottom first, then we'd do the joints, and then up as we went. But it doesn't really say anywhere when you're installing the tape specifically to do that I could find. So but it just makes sense. So yeah, we got this side, the majority of it taped. The very, very top we didn't get done yet, just because the scaffold we had, we couldn't reach up there. So when we're going to do the siding and that sort of thing, we'll probably end up building a little higher scaffold or something and finish that tape off. But right now it's kind of sheltered with the overhang, so I wasn't too worried about it. There's some nail holes here. We had to, take this sheet off way back, so I gotta get some caulking and the zip wall liquid flash is what it's called, and go over there and putty some of those nail heads. So, because also they're depressed through the barrier, so like this one is right here. So that needs, actually that particular one probably didn't have a stud, or actually that one is just missing nails. So we're gonna have to go back and inspect that type of stuff and nail off. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. You'll be able to see over here, we use the boom lift. Got the majority of this all taken care of, sealed up, bottom, then the sides. Got the windows all post wrapped, so they should be pretty weathered in for the most part. Yeah, something that I don't like about the zip wall system here in Oregon, as you can see, it's rainy, and this product you can't put on a wet surface. Other house wrap type products you can put on even if it's raining. So it doesn't make, to me, as much sense doing it in this kind of climate. But I want to try it. So something else that I don't like about it is, like, this is a horizontal seam. So up on the roof, I have a whole bunch of these seams. Water gets there, and if it's not perfect, water could get in behind it in theory. So I do have some spots on the inside, even though the top is all taped off and liquid flashed a lot of the nail heads, I still have some drips. So yeah, and you can see here some of the nail heads I started the other day putting some liquid flash on. So yeah, but there's a whole lot more that I have to do. So also, for me, why I don't like it as much is that there's a lot of time that goes around putting nails, taping seams, things like that, when you got a 9-foot roll of Tyvek, or excuse me, not some sort of brand. I say Tyvek, but it's like a house wrap that you go around the whole structure, and that's 9 foot tall, and it goes real quick. So other than you're working on 9 feet, so I don't see the additional benefit of using this in our climate. It's just, I'm not convinced, due to the fact that it takes a lot more time, in my opinion. I still pre-wrap with house wrap. I still post-wrap, install the window exactly how I did, except for you're not using zip wall like this. So me personally, this isn't going to be a product I ever use again, because it's just not convincing to me. well, that's it for this one. We this video, as a recap, we went over the taping of the seams of the zip wall system, also a little bit of liquid flash. I'll show you another close-up of that, and as well as installing a window and all the pre-flashing and post wrap for installing a window. So hopefully you learned something, hopefully you enjoyed, and all that sort of thing. So make sure you're thinking ahead of time of safety, as far as like, so we were using scaffolding and that sort of thing, trying to be as safe as we can, working off ladders. That's just the most dangerous. So do the best you can. So look forward to seeing you on the next one. Like always, be safe out there.